This episode of the Golf Gambler Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the app now and use code SGP. New customers can score $200 in bonus bets instantly when they bet just $5 on football, only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code SGP. We're also brought to you by Game Time. Snag the tickets without the stress. Use promo code CFBX on your first purchase to save $20. Download the Game Time app and use promo code CFBX. And Underdog Fantasy. Play Underdog Fantasy pick them in college or the NFL and win up to 20 times your money in one game. Plus, every Sunday, they're giving away $100K and using promo code SGPN at Underdog for a 100% deposit bonus up to $500. Finally, we're brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting research platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit hofbets.com. Use promo code SGPN to get 50% off your first month and start making smarter bets today. All right, D-Gens, welcome back to another week of us giving you some football picks the week before the Ryder Cup. It's your boy, Boston Capper, with the God of Golf himself, Steve Shermer. Steve, what's up, buddy?
Hey, we're doing pretty good with these picks, too. You know, you went 4-1. I went 3-2. So, I don't know, should we just rebrand to the another NFL gambling podcast on the network?
No, I think we're covered on all those bases, I believe. That is a market that is not lacking content. If we think the golf space is crowded, holy shit.
That is definitely true. But based on our download numbers, people are definitely caring more about the NFL this time of year than everywhere else. But listen, we're going to zoom through the show. My New York Giants are playing right now. Unfortunately, my kid was not very cooperative, trying to get the show early out. So we'll zoom through the picks and everything. But just kind of open the show before we get to our Thursday night pick. From last week. So like I mentioned, we've been doing pretty well, but how many teams do you actually have confidence in, like as far as picking
this week?
Just like across the league.
Oh, I mean, I don't know. I mean, spots are different, numbers are different. Like, I don't really trust any team. Just, you know what I mean? Like, it just kind of depends, man. I mean, there's so many weird spots in football, look aheads, what rest they're off, and all that type of stuff. So, I don't know. Like, it always just depends on the spread, man. Like, I like the board this week.
I mean, I don't really like the board this week. I think there's only like 2 good teams in the NFL. I think there's 30 teams with problems, pretty much. Either offensive line problems or quarterback problems or defense problems.
So who are the two good teams? San Fran and...
I think it's San Fran and Dallas.
Really? Oh, Dallas. Dude, fuck Dallas. It's Dallas, dude. It doesn't matter.
I know it's not. I know, but they at least have good offensive line, good defense, good weapons.
We'll see. It's only 2 weeks in. That's the thing. Nobody knows nothing.
I know it's only 2 weeks in. But like Philly's not, off to a great start, even though they're 2-0. They're kind of sluggish out of the gates. KC seems to have some issues too. The Bills are really up and down. Are they a tough team or not? The Dolphins, even though their offense is great, their defense is trash. So I don't know.
Real football doesn't start until after Thanksgiving, man. That's when you figure out what your team is. That's what the great Bill Belichick said. So
that is true. Well, I think I know what my team is based on what happened last week. And I think we'll just get right into.
You guys had a great comeback last week, man.
You want me to talk about that great comeback?
No, it's fine.
Did you hear the conspiracy theories surrounding that great comeback?
No.
That somebody from up high say, "Hey guys, we want Caleb Williams. Why don't you take your foot off the pedal a little bit?"
No, I mean, you can't play football at half speed, and like it's too dangerous, and those guys need other contracts. Tanking isn't easy as everybody thinks it's going to be. Just like all these crazy conspiracy theories. Oh yeah, you think fucking 2,000 people can keep their mouth shut and nothing's going to leak out? Just shut the fuck up. Like, no, there's no real conspiracy.
Did we lose Capper?
You there?
I think
I'm still here.
Capper,
I can see you.
All right. Well, we're just going to go right into my pick. So why don't we talk about the Giants? How I'm feeling about the Giants right now. Oh, hey, there you are.
Yeah, dude, I didn't go anywhere.
You were you froze on my end.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, we'll have to see how Cameron does with a post up. All right. Why don't you just get to the pick? Who do you like tonight?
So I like I like the San Fran and the teaser. I don't know if I can lay the whole 10.5, but I put them in a 3-leg tease with Philly and KC. Okay. No, Baltimore and KC.
All right. Well, just like straight up minus 10.5 plus 10.5. Is it too many points for you?
If a gun in my head, I'm buying the hook and I'm laying the 10.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about that game last week where the Giants fell down 27-7. And it looked like the Cardinals were the next greatest show on turf. Look, like I'm glad they had fight. I'm glad they didn't quit. Apparently Daboll is just a really good coach, because I think it was pretty clear that he was calling plays, but then he said, hey, look, I wasn't. So he gave Kafka, the offensive coordinator, all the credit there too. So listen, like, things started clicking in the second half. I mean, it's the Cardinals, for God's sake. Their defense is terrible, but they were starting to run the ball, a little more success. They did some more quick passes, a little more of the horizontal game. But it's just the Cardinals, though. And now we're going to be facing a real team this week in the 49ers. And here's a stat for you, by the way. So obviously that Dallas game kind of really taints us a little bit. But the Giants are 32nd in adjusted sacks rates allowed. And they're also 32nd in defensive adjusted sack rates. And that's actually the one that's really concerning, by the way, is because we put a lot of assets, a lot of money into this defensive line between, Azeez Ojulari and Kayvon Thibodeau and Leonard Williams. And it's just the fact that they are dead last in the league in sacks after all this is just terrible. And now we're going to face a real team with a real pass rush, which offensive weapons. I know Ayuk is going to be out tonight. But it just seems like when the Giants have played a real team over the last year and a half on the Daboll area, just things fall apart quick. So, and like with these Thursday night games, they get ugly quick. No. It's Niners minus 10.5 for me with this pick. I think the Giants are going to get smoked tonight. If they keep it close, that'd be great. But I mean, this team stinks. They stink. Right. They stink.
I mean, look, I'm not going to argue with you.
I mean, they can't play defense. Did you see all the how much of that game did you watch last week, the Cardinals-Giants game?
Not much, man.
Marquise Brown was wide open the entire first half. Like, nobody was around him. No. It was ridiculous. They didn't get a single sack on Josh Dobbs with that crappy offensive line they were going with. This is just the bill, unfortunately, has come due with this team. And I'm starting to question a little bit their GM and some of the choices he's making with this team, because I have full confidence in the coach, but man, like, this is year 2 and you've had a lot of draft picks that you've made and you got it worse.
I heard guys complaining about Thibodeau.
Well, I mean, people were like, they were complaining about his motor coming out of college, how motivated he was, but yeah, like, he's got to step up.
Well, let's just hope tonight's at least entertaining, not like a lot of these primetime games.
Well, it's a really good team versus a bad team.
Yeah.
So we'll see about that.
Absolutely.
All right. Why don't we take it first?
Game?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. That's fine. We'll jump and cut the ad real quick.
Okay.
All right. So listen, we're back with another week of football, and DraftKings Sportsbook is keeping us in on the NFL action with great offers every single game day. New customers can bet $5 to get $200 instantly in bonus bets. So throw down 5 on any of this week's matchups to walk away an instant winner. And DraftKings isn't stopping there. All customers can take advantage of 2 new offers every game day this September. He already talked about the San Francisco line, but this weekend we're about to get into my team and lay in the 2.5. I don't hate that at all. You can get that over at DraftKings. So football is more fun when you're in on the action. So download the app now and sign up with code SGP. New customers can bet $5 to get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Only DraftKings Sportsbook, an official betting partner of the NFL, with code SGP. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. The state-specific responsible gambling resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. And Game Time, it's a great place to get your tickets now. You can get it up to the last day, so you're not scrambling and you don't have to go through the headache of dealing with Ticketmaster and things like that. So listen, it's the fastest growing ticketing app in the country for a reason. You get images of your seat, so you know where you're sitting, so you're not sitting there like Takeo Spikes up in your neck of the woods when they brought him in. Listen, you can buy tickets in a matter of seconds. You tap it twice and you're all set, and they're sent directly to your phone, so you don't have to dig through your email. So snag the tickets without the stress with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CFBX for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CFBX for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed.
Look, there's a reason why the taxpayers up here are getting stuck with a giant tax bill to fund that new Bill Stadium, is because of pictures like what you saw with Takeo Spikes. It's just a poorly constructed stadium. It was not meant to have luxury seats. It was meant to have guys smoking cigarettes up in those boxes.
Yeah. No, you're right. It's just what's funny is Jacksonville's like, they don't want to pay for the stadium with tax dollars. I'm like, yeah, they shouldn't. Like, it's the dumbest shit in the world. Like, it's so dumb. Like, just put out a bond issue. You know what I mean? Like, do something that way. Don't put it on taxpayers. Make investors get it on it and give them a fucking interest rate. That's it. Call your boy Ray.
Are you guys getting a new stadium, or just it's renovations?
I have no idea. I think they've been trying to get like a new stadium right down by the waterfront, because in downtown Jackson's a shithole, right? Like, just the homeless everywhere, fucking crime, and like, it's never been a good spot. But it could be a great spot. This place called The Landing. It could have been awesome, but like, there's always problems and shit like that. So they're trying to turn that whole area into like, you know, like a boardwalk with the stadium and all that shit. So it looks nice, but we'll see if Con gets it done.
Okay. All right. Well, you may mention in the ad read there that you are liking the Patriots minus 2.5. So why don't you expand on that and your shameless homer pick of the week?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's not even. Listen, you know, I don't like my team. I don't think they're good, but I don't think the Jets are good. The defense is fine. Zach Wilson is the worst quarterback I think I've ever seen. Like, he is horrible. And Belichick has whooped them. Belichick gets up for the Jets games. I think it's like 14 in a row we've beat them. I just don't. This is going to be a rock fight. I mean, it could be 9-3 for all I know. Like, it's not like our offense sets the world on fire, but we're at least functional. You know, we can't get a run game, but we'll do those little pop passes. And, you know, if Bill pulls his head out of his ass and lets, you know, the Johnson play instead of benching him after one fumble, he's the only fast guy we got on the goddamn team. So I'd like to see him play a little more. It's more a bet against the Jets. And going 0-3, oh boy, that would be, that would make Boston Sports Radio almost unlistenable too. And it's basically already there. So yeah, I just think Zach Wilson's so fucking bad. Our defense is good enough. And our offense is whatever. It's capable. So I think we cover the 3.
Isn't last year, wasn't this the one that was like a 10-6 final when you guys went on like a punt return or something? It's the worst game ever.
Yep.
So
yeah, pretty bad.
Yeah,
Matt Patricia and Joe Dead. Thanks, guys.
He gave you that beauty. Yeah, look, I mean, like I think I agree with you. I mean,
Zach Wilson's just so bad. He's so bad.
I was dumb enough to lay the 9.5 with the Jets last week. And I mean, they hung in there for a little bit, but then the Cowboys like, all right, enough of this. And Zach Wilson realized who he was. And who do you think they're going to bring in? Like, they can't just leave it with Zach the rest of the year, right?
I mean, who they got? I mean, who's on the street?
I mean, can you trade for Jameis? You can.
I would. That's what I would do.
What about Taylor Heineke? He's a decent quarterback.
Yeah, he's good.
Atlanta seems pretty committed to that stooge.
Ritter.
Yeah, Ritter down there. He does suck. We were going to talk about him later, though. So
I think we're going to be on opposite sides then.
All right, there you go. All right. Why don't we start with our top 5 picks of the week? I'll go since you just went with your Patriots pick. So this was going to be Panthers +6 over the Seahawks, but I just saw across the wire that it's like Bryce Young's going to be out. Andy Dalton's in. Now, the line didn't move, but I have eyeballs, and I saw what Andy Dalton did last year, and let me tell you, I'm not laying 6 points. I'm not taking 6 points with Andy Dalton for anything at this point. I have a really bad history of Andy Dalton, like fantasy football, too. I had a stacked team, and this guy who basically didn't set a lineup for like 7 straight weeks, somehow made the championship, started Andy Dalton, and Dalton had like 400 yards and 4 touchdowns. You guys still joke about that. Anyways. So my number 5 pick, I'm going to go with the Packers minus 1.5 points. I mean, the Saints the last 2 weeks have not really impressed me at all. I know the defense has been pretty good, but they went against the Panthers, who I don't think have much of a good offense. I mean, the Titans just look like complete crap on offense, especially when they face kind of like a semi-decent defense. Christian Watson practiced yesterday.
Didn't today.
Yep. Well, he didn't today, but he said there was a planned rest day. So everything seems like to be okay. Aaron Jones, more importantly, came back to practice today.
Yeah, I saw that.
So if he can go and push poor, fat, slow AJ Dillon to the side there and take most of those carries, I think that offense is going to be humming. I think the defense is pretty good too. And I mean, like, Saints have played, I think, 2 kind of garbage teams first 2 weeks. So and it's a short week for the Saints. It's a double road trip. So maybe Taysom Hill is even their starting running back. That doesn't seem like things are really good right now. So I'm going to take the Packers minus 1.5.
That is also my number 5 pick for all the things that you said. Plus, I've been fading them. I'm 1-0-1. I don't think they're as good. Their coach is fucking terrible. They just Williams isn't even going to play. It's going to be that rookie who's dealing with a fucking hamstring. Like you said, Taysom Hill's going to be back there. I don't think their defense is that good. Dome team on the road, opening at Lambeau. Let's go. All day.
There you go. I went to Lambeau one time as
Did you?
I saw a Bills game there. And so we all got out of the van. We're all dressed in the Bills gear. And it was when the Bills were just fucking terrible.
Terrible.
Yeah, like Marshawn Lynch. Actually, funny enough, so Trent Edwards was the starting quarterback, and then Marshawn Lynch was the starting running back.
I remember when Marshawn was there.
Yeah, so we all get out of our van in like the Bills gear, and they all we can hear some boos, but because the Bills were so bad, the Packers were stacked that year. And they were nice to us. They took us to lunch. They might have given some of my friends some brownies with some substances in them.
Yeah, man.
So, and then the Bills lost, I think, 40-13. And Trent Edwards was cut the next day, and Marshawn Lynch was traded 2 days later. So,
yeah, I mean, I remember when you guys traded Marshawn. That was so dumb.
My guys, not my guys, my friends' guys, but not my.
I know.
Yes. Okay. All right. Well, then I'll go to number 4 pick since we're both on the Packers. So I'm gonna go Ravens -8. Doesn't look like we're going to see Anthony Richardson this week, and you've seen plenty of Gardner Minshew down there. I think he stinks. I've never understood the fascination with him. He's terrible. The offensive line is banged up for the Colts. No Quentin Nelson in practice. Say Ryan Kelly also is banged up too, and it just seems like the Ravens just beat up and cover against inferior opponents at home. So. I think with no Richardson, they're going to have to change the playbook because Minshew can't run those plays that they have, when Richardson in there. So I think that takes away a lot of maybe the misdirection they could have to really fool some defenses. So Ravens -8.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. They're in my teaser. Quentin Nelson, I think not being in there is a huge fucking deal. Like that dude's a fucking stud, like such a stud. So yeah I think it was my last one out. I was gonna make that my 5, but I already got him in a teaser, so I'll just leave it alone.
Okay, all right. What's your number 4 pick?
So I'm taking Buffalo to go in and take care of business against the Commanders. They stink. Buffalo righted the ship a little bit. I just don't. It worries me that it's gone from 6.5 to 6, right? But that's just me getting in my head. And typically, I would take a home dog, out of conference road game, right? Like not worrying about it. But since Buffalo started out 1-1, I feel like they have to right the ship and make sure that they're staying on track because Miami's so goddamn good. Every win counts for them if they really want to take down the division. So I think they'll be focused. And yeah, Washington is not good. Like they're not. They're not like what's his Brian Robinson? Like he's really not that good. The backup running back stinks. Dotson had a bad game last week. Terry McLaurin still dealing with the turf though, even though he had a decent game last week. I think Buffalo rolls big.
Yeah, it seems like the Bills just beat on bad teams too. I think I'm just a little worried about sometimes when they go on the road and they kind of
I know. Me too.
I mean, maybe the Commanders can throw up a little bit of pass rush. Their defense, I think, is okay. Fine. But
is Chase Young even playing again this week?
That's true. I don't even know if he's active. So, All right. Well, I like that pick. All right. Why don't we take our last ad break, and then we'll go over the rest of the card.
We'll run through the rest. Yep. All right. Listen, Underdog Fantasy has a way for you to play alongside your favorite football team all season long. You can win up to 20 times your money in a single game by going 5 for 5. And listen to this. From now until October 4th, Underdog is matching 100% of the first deposits up to $500. So that's a pretty big bonus offer, boys. $100,000 Sundays continue with Underdog Fantasy. Total of $2 million in prize in it all season long. 100K in prizes this week. 10K to 10 people this week. New sweepstakes every week. This week's higher or lower is Tyreek Hill receiving yards 91.5 or higher or lower. Even if you're wrong, you still get a chance to win 10K. So watch along, make your picks, and maybe make a little cash over on Underdog's mobile app or website, underdogfantasy.com. And when you use promo code SGPN, Underdog will double or match up to $500 on your deposit. So yeah, that's a big one, boys. Go take care of that. And then lastly, win bigger by betting smarter this NFL season with Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting analytics platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Research every sport with historical stats and data. Enter any parlay idea into the Hall of Fame Bets revolutionary parlay optimizer tool to get hit rates broken down by leg, as well as expected probability for the entire play. Sort all players by hit rate for any bet to learn which players are hot and which picks have value. So stop betting in the dark and join over 30,000 users researching with Hall of Fame bets to craft more intelligent and data-driven parlays. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit hofbets.com and use code SGPN to get 50% off your first month today. Start researching, start winning with Hall of Fame Bets.
Okay. All right. Let's go to my number 3 pick. We already kind of alluded that we're going to go in this direction. We were going to bring up Desmond Ridder, who bona fide stinks. I watched a lot of that game, the Packers-Falcons game. And yeah, it's really sad what's happened to Drake London. He had a good game last week. It's really sad what's happened to Kyle Pitts. So much I had to replace him in Guillotine and actually overspend to get TJ Hawkinson. I was like, this is not working. But I'm just not impressed with the Lions. They're 2 weeks. I kind of talked about this last week. I thought their win over the Chiefs were a little fraudulent. Their defense really got lit up last week. Yeah. They got a lot of injuries too. Their secondary's banged up. They got a couple of injuries. Their linebacking core, offensive line, Taylor Decker was out last week. I haven't seen an update, but we'll see if he plays this week. Amon-Ra St. Brown is dealing with a toe injury. That's bad for you in Guillotine League.
I'm aware.
Yep.
I'm aware.
And I think David Montgomery, I think that's an underrated loss. I think he was doing, I think that's exactly what Dan Campbell wants to do. He wants this big plotting guy.
3.5, 4 yards up the middle back.
And he's pretty good at that job. He's not flashy, but he's good at it. And now you're getting Craig Reynolds in there. And you got the fanboys are saying, oh, well, it's going to give Jahmyr Gibbs more carries. He's never been able to carry the load. And they're going to give this Craig Reynolds guy who sucks, like 12 carries. They don't generate a pass rush. And I think with the Falcons, they're just the new Titans. They're going to ugly it up. I think that offensive line and that run game is just really good, even though the quarterback stinks. So I take the Falcons +3.
All right. So that was my number 2 pick. I'm with you. I thought you were going to take the Lions.
No.
Yeah. So all the reasons you said, plus Atlanta ran way more plays than they normally would last week. They want to eat fucking clock and run the goddamn ball. So even if they lose, it's going to be close. And that, Bijan Robinson is unbelievably electric. He looks like it doesn't look fair. The moves he makes, juking and moving around. Yeah, I love Atlanta +3.5. I know it's a road game, but yeah, I think Detroit. Yeah, I don't think Detroit's got it yet. Like you said, lots of injuries, and yeah, I love the 3.5 for a team that's gonna try to run clock and muddy it up and keep it close.
There you go. All right. Well, I've been stealing picks from you, so why don't we just go with your number 3 pick?
Well, so my number 3 pick was this feels so trappy to me, bro. I don't care. I'm still going to take it because normally when I feel like it's going to be a trap, I will avoid it. But I'm going to go ahead and lay Miami 6.5. What terrifies me is it has not moved. They want us to take Miami. I haven't looked at the splits because I don't want to terrify myself, but I would imagine that lots of people are on the Dolphins. But I've been fading the Broncos. It has been working out. They stink. The coach sucks. Russell Wilson is fucking washed. The receivers, not great. Judy is running out of the slot for some reason. In 3/4 of the play, he ran out of the slot instead of outside, where he had his best games last season. The defense is nowhere near what's advertised. And even with Jalen Waddle going out, I don't think it really matters. Mostert is as long as he doesn't get injured this game, has been really carrying the road. They can run the ball. Raycraft is fine for a number 2 receiver. He can step up. They still get Tyreek Hill. Yeah, and I think that O-line is going to be able to hold up against Denver's non-existent pass rush. So yeah, I know it's square. It's terrifying, but yeah, Miami was my number 3 pick at laying the 6.5.
Yeah, and that defense is pretty aggressive too. I think they're going to, maybe get some Russell Wilson's problems. Do you want me to say something to give you anxiety, or do you want ignorance is bliss?
Give me some anxiety.
Very famous mush that we sometimes resort to looking at in golf. Loves the Dolphins this week and said some very, very nasty things about the Broncos. So,
who?
You know who I'm talking about.
So I don't. Yeah. So it was funny. It's I listen to that in the background. I don't really pay attention to it. I just like hearing Feinberg. I tuned in for the Chargers meltdown, and I think I just kind of tuned out.
That was a good episode this week.
Yeah. Maybe I'll go back and listen.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm also gonna go to, I think, a trap game. I don't understand why this line is what it is right now.
All right.
Before I get to that,
all right, This is your number 2 pick, right?
This is my number 2 pick.
Okay.
So, Cameron, if you're listening to me, we need to have a chat from one guy who roots for a fan base that has bent itself into a pretzel for years, trying to justify how good and underrated this quarterback that we have is and how many excuses they have, as far as listen, if he had this and this and this, then he'd be great. Just maybe take a step back and understand that maybe there's a reason why your boy went 22nd in the draft in a draft quarterback class that was god awful, basically on par with the year that EJ Manuel came out, and he was the 16th pick for the Bills. So Kenny Pickett stinks.
Blow.
Yes, he is bad. That interception he threw on Monday night was god awful to start the game.
Dude, he almost threw the other one. Did you see the one that he got away with?
I think I was flipping back and forth between the Saints game. I was dealing with my newborn. I was dealing with my newborn too that night. It wasn't great. But here's the thing, though. Steelers are plus 2.5 against, in my opinion, a dog shit Las Vegas Raiders team where they don't have a home field advantage. There's going to be a lot of Steelers fans there.
Yeah, Steelers travel.
Right. So if you want to hang your hat on the Steelers, they have faced 2 really good defenses in San Francisco and Cleveland. Cleveland's defense is really good. San Francisco's obviously is probably right now just detonating the Giants. And Vegas defense is just terrible. They got Max Crosby. Really, that's about it. I mean, if the Bills can run on the Raiders and the Bills can't run really on anybody, the Steelers can probably get their run game going a little bit. I know their offensive coordinator sucks, but I mean, Vegas.
Yeah, they hate that motherfucker, huh?
Yeah, they really do. But
I feel like that. So I'm pretty tuned in with Pittsburgh because my wife's from Pittsburgh and her whole family is. So I know about the Steelers, and then they hated who's the golf guy? Todd. What the fuck was the rat face's name?
Oh,
he went to Cleveland with Dum Dum.
I don't know.
Anyway, he was a UNF golf coach, and he ended up being the offensive coordinator for the Steelers, and they hated him with the fire of 1,000 suns too.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they were booing Matt Canada, I think, on Monday night. But look, I mean, Vegas came back to win against a bad Denver team. You have said it. You keep fading Denver. Yep. They got blown out of the Bills. They can't run block. They haven't really been tested by a good pass rush yet. So I still think the Steelers defense is really good. I'll take Steelers plus 2.5 on the quote unquote road.
I don't know, man. You really hate the Raiders. I don't really think they're that bad. Like I said, and they're not going to blow doors, but I think McDaniels is a decent coach. Schemes up okay. They still got. I mean, if you look at, they still have a better quarterback. Jimmy G is better than Kenny Pickett. On offense, Devontae Adams and Josh Jacobs are much better than whatever his name is, George Pickens and Najee or Jalen Warren.
I mean, Josh Jacobs had negative -2 yards rushing last week.
Yeah, but I know, but I'm fine with it. I just mean as far as talent goes. Listen, it just is what it is. I just can't back the Steelers on the road. They stink. Todd Haley was the name I was trying to think of.
There you go. Okay. All right. What's your lock of the week then?
Lock of the week is Houston coming down to Jacksonville, getting 8.5 points. Listen, I know they played Kansas City. Kansas City's defense is kind of surprisingly good. Watched a lot of that game. Jackson's offense just really doesn't have it right now. And look, Texans aren't good, but they were able to backdoor cover last week. They got some promising young receivers with Nico, Tank, even Mechie. So Dameon Pierce blows, though. That worries me a little bit. But this is another team that's gonna muck it up, and it has backdoor cover written all over it. Jacksonville shouldn't be laying this many points to anybody. I know they got all the preseason hype. I think 8.5 is a very wrong line, especially since Houston has their number. They have owned Jacksonville in this divisional rivalry. It's a division game. 8.5 is way too fucking many points. And so, yeah, I'm taking that. That's my lock of the week.
Yeah, I mean, I looked at that game, but I mean, Houston.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, their defense.
I get it, buddy. It's 8.5 for a reason.
I mean, I don't think the Colts are very good, and the Colts really took them to the woodshed. So I don't know. I stayed away. I understand though. If I had a gun to my head, I'm probably taking Houston with getting points too.
Yeah.
But I ended up staying away because it can get ugly. And listen, as someone who actually picked the Jags last year and was eliminating Survivor with the Texans, I mean, maybe the Jags are thinking about that. Maybe they're a little embarrassed. I also happen to take the Jaguars this week in Survivor, which is not really great, but yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, honestly, I look ahead of the Jags schedule. It's not really, there's not another good time to take them.
What about when they're going to play Indy again in Jags?
I honestly, I don't really trust if Anthony Richardson's healthy, I don't really trust him.
Okay.
So
fair enough.
All right. Well, my lock of the week. What's more likely? Well, actually, you know what? I guess let me just ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do you think the Arizona Cardinals are actually going to go 0-3 head to head, but 3-0 against the spread? I don't think so. And the Arizona, listen, they put up a great fight against Washington.
Yeah.
Who you have bet against this
Correct.
week.
Please.
They put up a heroic effort and then promptly blew it in the second half to a bad New York Giants team. I understand, Diggs towards ACL today. Honestly, like ever since that, like really good
Diggs towards ACL today.
He did trade Davion Diggs. Yeah, he tore his ACL in practice. But listen, I mean, they still got stuff. They still got Stephon Gilmore on the other side. He's going to handle Marquise Brown. They don't really have any other receivers there. Right. That offensive line is still pretty bad, even though they basically dominated the Giants, paper tiger offensive line last week. I just think the Cowboys are going to roll in there and continue to beat up on bad teams. And there's going to be a lot of Cowboys fans at that game too. So I'm just going to take Cowboys -12. Call it.
Yeah. I mean, that was on my short list too. So it's like, I like that one. I bet them with a tease with KC and Baltimore as well. So yeah, I love it.
Okay. All right. Well, I got nothing else. You
got to give a money line dog.
Oh God.
According to
I'm not prepared for that. You go.
All right, fair enough. You can put it on your card. So I was going to take Falcons at +145, but I'm going to go ahead and take Vrabel to go ahead and actually pull out the win at +160. I don't trust the Browns. Deshaun Watson stinks. I know Tennessee's not great and Tannehill blows against good defenses, but I don't know how good that defense really is. So I don't know. We'll see. So I think +160, Vrabel on the road.
Okay. Go ahead and grab. All right. I'll give my money dog
on the card.
Yeah. On the card.
All right. So what we got? We got Sunday preview show.
Well, no, not Sunday preview show. Why? I have plans on Sunday, so can't do that. But
fuck your plans. It's Ryder Cup week.
Well, I was going to record something on Saturday night to get it out.
All right.
So if you can join me or not, you can join me. It's basically
let me know what time.
It's basically just me going through Google Earth and kind of just showing. To give you guys a sneak peek, I actually went through the Italian Open data and kind of looked at like where guys hit their approach shots from to kind of get a little flavor about like how the golf course is going to play. It's incredibly more straightforward than I thought it was, where even like shorter hitters are hitting from the same place as longer hitters.
Okay.
So the whole notion of driving distance is a huge edge. I think it's more strokes gained off the tee if you just drive the ball well. Okay. So I think it's going to come down to that, just who drives the ball better between both teams, and we'll kind of talk about that. Okay. And
then our betting show?
Yeah, it'll be either Tuesday or Wednesday. I don't know. Depends on your schedule.
Okay.
I'm
pretty wide open.
Yep.
Still looking for a job.
Womp
womp. Yeah. All right. Well, fuck it, man. Ryder Cup week next week. Let's stay hot with football, man, so we can stack our wallets and get down on so many bets on the Ryder Cup. I cannot wait. Fucking matches, parlays. And I think today, Steve, I've come to the realization that I cannot root for Europe. I can't do it. Can't
was it what I said in the text message chain that did it?
No, maybe subconsciously.
Not comparing Rory to a slap hitter.
Bill Miller's not a slap hitter, sir.
A slap hitter.
He was a doubles. He was a gap hitter.
Okay, fine.
I just don't think I can do it. I think the price is pretty right for the US right now. I think it really has gone so far the other way. It's like, now the value's on the US. So,
yeah, it's gone too far at this point. But we'll talk about that next week.
All right, sounds good. Let's go watch the game. Hope you boys don't cover. Sorry, bro. Later.